Wow. This is crazy, Sacramento, being in an NBA arena. I'm a Celtic fan. I know. A lot of you guys are looking like, well, why are you wearing that Kings? Well, I like free swag. Plus, I look good in purple. No, I am also a fan of the Kings. It was hard not to be a fan in the 90s. I mean, you guys had Vadi Diva, Chris Webber, Jason Williams, White Chocolate. That's actually what I used to go by. I wasn't a basketball player, I was a lifeguard, but I wanted people to call me that. Big Kings fan, as of today.
I know you're a Celtics fan, but you don't.
Yeah, I'm not hardcore.
You're not a hardcore
I don't
fan.
know.
Not a hardcore fan is the only person that will go up in the Kings arena and say I'm a Boston fan. They literally, Sacramento just lost to Boston in a heartbreaker.
That night.
I mean, not even that day. Minutes.
In a playoff push.
Before the show started. Yeah, they're trying to make the playoffs, and they lost by 1. They came back. They were down 19.
Hey, I'm trying to remember. Did he get them on his side first with some good jokes
No.
and then say
No,
he was a Boston fan? What did he do?
When you watch
the
Nick
other
up
way.
there, just know whatever Nick's saying before he says Boston, all he's thinking about is Boston. So the words he's saying is just like, that's just like the work he
Good to
has
be
to.
here.
It's like, hey, fine, Boston. He just can't wait to get it out.
I'm a Celtic fan.
As he wears all their stuff, and then they booed.
It was fun.
It was a healthy boo.
It was close to 20,000 boos, but it was fun though to go from that to then we're back
To doing fine.
Then you went into your to doing all right.
I'm joking. You did do great. So he did. He turned it around.
Yeah. And then he closed it. He goes, "That's my time. Go Boston." And then he left.
Yeah.
That would have been great. I do kind of want to do the Kings. It would be stupid to do it, but there would be actually an equal amount of Kings fans here. Probably.
Yeah.
He's still wearing the Kings clothes. He's still wearing the
he
Kings
wants,
stuff.
He wants to say L.A. Kings.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So he wants to do it again tonight.
I want to do it again tonight. I do because
We don't know, and the other thing is we don't have to.
Just
I don't know.
Because you're mad at your dad or
Yeah.
something. I don't know what.
his dad's a wonderful person.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair to these people. It's not fair to his dad.
Guys, Nate's on stage for another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about whatever we want to
I'm
talk
gonna
about.
hold Mike's hand during this.
Okay, I think that's nice. Because Mike, this is your first weekend on the tour this year.
This is my first weekend on the tour.
And how'd you feel out there tonight? It's in the round. It's in the round.
It's in the round. It's a little bit disorientating, to be honest.
Yeah. You say it the British way.
Disorientating. Yeah, disorientated. Is that right?
Disoriented?
He separates them. Okay.
Is American. I didn't realize you went to Oxford.
I'm sorry, Julian, that I'm
Speaking
educated.
of,
it infuriates you.
Speaking of,
you always
does make
hated
me
that.
furious.
You
He's
always
so
hated
disoriented that he said disorientated.
Mike, if a guy that looks like you is smarter than a guy that looks like me, what is this world coming to?
We both
Speaking
look
of
dumb.
professors,
Meanwhile,
Joe, what do you?
Yeah, I mean, compared to all three of you, I look super smart.
Well, Joe is actually super smart. We were stuck in the airport together, and Joe, a flight got canceled. Joe was already got us all booked on another flight faster than anybody I've ever seen. He had us checked in. He canceled the flight and had the points and had the flight rebooked. And by the time we knew what was going on, it was crazy.
Well, we thought he was smart, and then found out that his day job, he works for the airline.
He's an industry plant.
Yeah.
Is he taking a bag in the back over there?
No, I hatched a clever plan, and I won Mike Vecchione $275.
Yeah.
So.
Oh wow!
In the travel bank.
Nice.
How'd you
In
do
the
that?
United Travel
We'll talk
Bank.
about this after the. That's gonna be literally the most boring conversation of all time. How to get more points?
What happened on the plane?
Oh, so basically,
I don't know if Joe wants this blown up as personal.
Can I just say, my wife Meg met Joe and thinks he's very sweet, but also
I
feels
think
like
sexy was the word she used.
she said.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
She said that his personality seems like the kind of guy who his therapist told him that he needs to say hi to 5 new people today. That's
Right.
and then yesterday on the plane, he had a pretty good day.
It's
He had a
getting
pretty
little
good
mean
day.
here.
So your first person was the flight attendant on United. Tell us a little bit about how that happened.
Yeah, I had that in my head that I needed to say hi to 5 people a day based on what your wife imagined a therapist would say to me. Now I'm in on it.
But the thing is, I'm sitting next to Joe, and I wasn't in on it. So Joe goes, "Oh, go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry."
Well, there was a woman that came. There was a stewardess that came to the front of the plane. We were front row, first class.
Ooh, listen to that came out there.
Bulkhead.
And bulkhead. I don't know how to request non-bulkhead first class.
Yeah.
As soon as I figure
Bulkhead
that
is
out,
the worst.
As soon as I figure that out.
We're gonna get back into it. We got it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants flying.
Well, the pilot was talking to her. Clearly, he was trying to hit on her. And he was like, "Did you get hurt in the back?" And she was like, "Well, the seatbelt came off." And he was talking about all the turbulence, and he was apologizing for all the turbulence.
Because he flies the plane. Was that a power move?
Ooh.
Yes, he was definitely using a power move.
I was flying the plane. I hope it wasn't too bumpy for you, because I was flying it.
I hope it was bumpy enough.
It was a power move.
That's why I can't be a pilot.
So then,
Charming.
Yeah.
So then she was just standing there, and I'm like, "This is my chance, you know, to chat, to practice
Sure.
chatting."
Yeah.
Practice chat.
Because she can't move.
She can't move. And I said, "Hey, did you get injured?" And she said,
This is on the heels of the same conversation
Yeah.
that she just had with the pilot.
Yeah.
I
So
like
she's
that.
saying they have the cart in front because the pilot is out going to the bathroom, and 9/11 they have to put the cart in front with a flight attendant standing there.
Murderers can't get over carts.
Yeah, murderers can't get out there. The Taliban cannot hurdle the cart.
Right. So she's guarding the cart.
She's guarding the cart. She's doing her job as a United States citizen.
As a hero.
Yeah.
And Joe, you decide to.
I said,
Chat her up.
"Hey, are you injured?" And she said,
Are you injured? Are you injured?
God, that's gold, Joe.
Oh, that's
so good.
funny.
God, you're
Are
so-
you
God, that's
injured?
right?
That's right. That you did say that. And what did she say?
And she said, "What?"
Yeah.
And
But then you said,
and then I said, "Are you injured?" And then she said, "I'm sorry." And then Mike said, "Joe said, are you injured?" You take it from here, Mike. I don't remember what she
I don't
said.
know. She had a thing on her. She goes, "No, it was bumped." And ever since that Air Alaska thing happened, I said, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about." Joe said, "What was the Air Alaska thing?" I said, "I'm sorry, my
kept it
friend
going.
doesn't read the
I
news."
kept it going. I kept it going.
My friend
you kept
doesn't
it
read
going.
the news. Yes, it was. I didn't realize you do read the news, but it was your play. You were playing possum.
I played possum.
I
God, Joe,
Joe.
you played possum.
Silky Joe.
Silky Joe.
I love that Smooth Joe says, "Hey, explain to me this air-based tragedy that just happened while we're on a plane."
She had to go through it, and you know what? I felt like a little bit of a connection there, but I didn't feel like I did enough, because when the flirting between the two happens, it's nice, and there's like a little bit sparks flying here and there, but you know, somebody has to step up and make it awkward and go, "Hey, you know, my friend Joe is handsome. He smells great. He
He's
takes
got a
care of
suede-
himself.
He's got a suede jacket.
First class.
He's in first
Ooh.
class.
He's in first class.
Yeah, and he's a bird watcher. Don't make me go into it, how debonair this guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She rides on planes. I watch birds. There's some
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
commonality.
You guys are
All
both
in
sky
the
people.
Sky.
You're both sky people.
You have sky interests.
Yeah. But I didn't do that, and I was waiting for her. She was working in the back of the plane, and we were in the first class. So we really, in my defense, we didn't see her again.
Now hold on.
I was-
I do need to say that Joe has had relations in the past, and I'm curious. What is your move to make it to like I'm getting the phone number.
Is
What
Joe
is that move?
Joe is so smooth. I don't think the girl even knows.
Yeah.
She
they
thinks
had
she's signing
relations.
up for a seminar.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how do you have my number? And then how are we on this date?
Yeah.
And then how are we dating?
How are we dating for 9 months?
But I like a good stump stump them in a conversation. Like, what's your favorite color? Whoa, I didn't know. You know that.
Yeah.
Are you injured? Was a great. You know,
Yeah.
you don't know what's
Yeah.
coming. How do you respond to
Yeah.
that? Maybe I am. You know. And
But
she's
Nick,
like,
that's your technique. So aggressive that it startles them.
Yeah.
See, Joe is
Yeah.
silky.
Silky.
silky
just, like,
Joe. It's
yeah.
not my method.
Yeah.
I've never asked anybody if they're injured. I don't know. But
I think the way you get into a relationship is you chat up. You just chat up. You just keep chatting people up until one of them just kind of like falls into your lap on accident.
But isn't there a thing, Joe?
You mean like wear them down?
No, I mean more just
how do they fall into? Isn't there a thing where?
Numb them?
No,
Isn't
no
it-
numbers.
Numbers. Yeah, yeah.
But isn't
yeah.
there a thing where you have to step up and go, look, can I get your number? You need to connect, otherwise, like in this situation, like the girl is going to go away if you don't make some way to connect to her.
Right. Well, I mean, that was too. So to me, that was too forced of a situation
right.
to press for anything.
Yeah. Right.
That's more of a situation
backing
where
off was good.
if you run into her again 17 times, at some point you're like, "Hey, we keep seeing each other.
Yeah.
Let's maybe take this to an 18th time."
Have you guys ever used? I know it's been a long time since a lot of us have been single. Sorry, Joe. But have you ever used your act in a conversation? Like, have you ever been like, people say I sound like Winnie the Pooh.
No, I have a guilty. I have a very guilty conscience with that. I will go over the top to be like, if they ask me about a topic that I talk about in my act, I'll go over the top to be like, well, I do have a bit about that topic, and I'm not going to do the bit on you, but
If
I did do the bit on you.
it would be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about the Uber ride from the airport to the hotel?
with Gina.
We
With
picked
Gina.
up a girl named Gina, which is a good omen because the girl that you wanted to hit on was Gina.
Oh,
and this
right.
was another Gina.
The flight attendant was
yeah,
Gina.
it was a two Gina
and then
night.
the Uber driver was Gina.
The Uber driver was Gina, and I had a really good one that I would like to recount now, where I was like, thanks for the pickup, Gina. I know you got to move fast because you got a lasagna in the oven. Mm-hmm. And it really didn't hit with her.
No.
She didn't realize there were comics.
Right.
That didn't help.
But a lasagna in the oven, Gina, a lasagna, and then she said, my brother calls me Gina. And she took it blue.
So listen to my Uber from the airport. I'm in the.
Nick came in.
Somebody had to rescue this.
You just hijacked. You
This
just
is going.
hijacked the Uber topic.
We need another Uber story because Gina was. I didn't know where this was going.
Well, we're supposed to be supportive
We'll bring
of
it back
each
to
other.
Gina. We'll bring it back to Gina. Go ahead. Side tangent.
Side tangent. I took an Uber. It was
This
hard
better
to
be better
find.
than our
It was
story.
hard to find. It was hard to find the Uber. I get in it. He asked me what I'm doing. I tell him I'm a comedian. And he says, yeah, I had a ride earlier, Nick Thune. And I was like,
Really?
oh, wow, Nick Thune is here? And he goes, the comedian? He goes, no, the pilot. I picked him up earlier. I was like, why would you tell me the name of Nick Thune? First of all, you're revealing your customer, which I don't think you're supposed to do.
Right.
And then you randomly say Nick Thune. I was like, did he have a beard? Then I was like, did Nick Thune just say he's a pilot? Like, was that his thing? And he's like, no, he didn't have a beard.
Oh, so there's a Nick Thune out there that's actually contributing to
pilot.
society.
Nice.
Well, the funny thing about this too is
We don't need
were
to talk about me at
tracking-
the airport.
We were tracking a milkshake.
That's
and a
right,
massage.
milkshake.
we were
Julian went off
our
the rails.
layover
on
was
his
about
diet?
20 minutes. We were about 20 minutes into a 6-hour layover, and I was like, "That's it. I can't take it anymore. I'm getting a milkshake and a massage. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next 5 hours."
And Joe went to Starbucks. We all went to our, and then
By the way,
Pimp went to a steakhouse.
I don't know how many people need to hear this, but for future reference, if anybody, massage then milkshake, way better.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
better.
That
order
makes
of
a
doing
lot of
things.
sense.
Yeah.
You did the milkshake first.
The massage guy was
He's
so
bloated. He's
I did the
trying to hold
milkshake
back.
first.
He's like,
He's pushing on my back. I'm like, whoa, buddy, don't push.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I also
You had to go back.
well, I realized that I had. Oh no, that was a different time. But
Is
I
it
left
fair
my
to
charger
say you're a
secret.
wanderer though? At times, you'll do.
but
a
all
little.
who wander are not lost. So, but I got lost.
That was
and
good.
I was. Yeah, I went to, I don't know where I was trying to go to another terminal, and then I took the monorail thing the wrong direction, and ended up back at the entry of the airport, and I couldn't get back in without going back through security. So I went through security twice. But that's a good way to kill time too, because that takes a long time.
It is.
So I was finding fun ways to kill time at this layover, you know?
Julian has ADHD. He's the smartest guy, but he has ADHD, so he can't focus on anything for too long.
No.
He gets distracted easily. That's why he constantly...
I'm already doing another podcast right now in my head.
So the whole time you guys were traveling, we were monitoring it.
I'll save Nick's story right after he's done.
Could you
we
save
were playing
Nick's story?
blackjack for, or gambling for 6 hours, and we kept seeing, they're delayed further. And now all these dating stories and Uber. I mean, you guys.
Did you gamble on which flight we would be on?
We probably would have.
Yeah.
I didn't know no one knew actually anything about you guys.
My favorite subtle moment was that nobody heard.
This is great.
Was at the end of the Uber ride. She kept asking, "What are you guys here for? Are you here for a bachelor party?" And we evaded the question.
Yeah, no, we never like answering.
Are you guys here for work? We evaded the question. And finally, the Uber was pulling up, and she asked again, and we were about to get out. So I was just like, Mike's a comedian. We're with him.
After the lasagna line.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's a comedian. We're with him this week. And she goes, "Well, have fun, whatever it is y'all are doing."
She did. She refused to believe.
China
refused to believe. And I gave her a 4-star because of that instead of a 5-star.
All right, we should stop because I don't even know when he's gonna. But I think we don't have something. So no, I'm kidding. That was fun.
We're gonna wrap this podcast episode.
We can hear Nate closing out.
Yeah.
So we should probably go back out there. He's gonna say, "I want to bring everybody back up," and it would be awkward if
we're gonna be here podcasting.
Yeah.
Be funny.
All right.
All right, so we're in Sacramento where the Kings play basketball. I think it's called the Golden One Arena, which does not roll off the tongue so much. But Nate is on stage right now. I just brought him on stage. He's got an hour to go. How did you guys feel like your sets went tonight in this arena? Joe, how did yours go?
I went first tonight, and it was over 16,000 people. Was very large, and the in the round sets have been going very well. But within the first, it went well. But in the first minute, I said something about.
No, hold on.
I love you.
I want to make sure everybody understands that it went well. It did go well.
It did go well.
Despite what he's about to say.
It did go well.
It did go well. All right, Joe, what happened?
So I don't know if you've ever had 16,000 people boo you all at once.
I did.
Nick did.
I did tonight.
Nick goes up and he goes, "I'm a Celtics fan."
I came up. I was like,
Hey, don't get ahead. By the way, don't ask questions that are going to get ahead of you. Because we'll get to Nick in a second.
All of a sudden, it's coming across like this is just the worst show that's ever.
Yeah.
What did you say exactly,
How
Joe?
did you get booed so fast? I don't remember.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
No, I'm joking. Within the first minute, though, I have a newish joke about how I read a lot of self-help books, and I read one that said, what you need to do is you need to look in a mirror and say, "I love myself." And a lady goes, "I love myself. I love myself." And I was
like, I didn't hear that.
And it was like so early in the set in front of 16,000 people that I was just like, okay, yeah, no more yelling out.
He did turn into a teacher.
I'll just continue with this joke because I don't want to do crowd work in front of 16,000 people.
Oh man,
this early on in a set.
We're different comics.
No. So I would have handled it differently.
That is hilarious to yell that out. That's the craziest heckle I think I've ever heard.
I know. I wish I had been more ready to. I think
But I don't think people understand it's the first thing you said, so there's no momentum.
Yes.
Well, they don't.
You know what I mean? That's why it's difficult.
They don't trust that you're funny yet because you've just gotten through a setup. So they're just like, you
All
can't just attack a lady.
They were rowdy though. They were they were definitely like random things.
All I've done is a setup in front of 16,000 people. I love myself. I love myself. And I'm like, well,
it's always like the woman
haven't earned the other 16,000 people's trust yet to really go into this.
I do need to get 16,000 people to love me also first.
Well, $15.99.
Yeah.
$15,999.
That's funny.
And,
then Mike, you went.
And
second.
that was following.
Wait,
that was
Joe's
no.
I'm sorry, I didn't know Joe had more.
So anyway,
This is longer than
basically-
your actual set, by the way.
Basically, I was like, okay, I moved on, and then I was just like, I tried to do my best material, and it went well. But I wish I had been more fun with that lady.
That is very early. It takes quite a bit of. You got to think of something quick when it's that soon, because you really are. That now becomes your first joke. How you handle that becomes your. And if you miss, it's like. Not only did I missed attacking one of you.
And
so
you're
it's like,
attacking a self-help. So if it goes wrong,
Yeah.
this is somebody who's also needs help. You're in
also,
like a
she didn't
weird-
attack you. She just yelled, "I love myself," which is
yeah. The easiest.
But she was making it about her. We all know that people do that. Like it's like she's making it about her in
Yeah.
the first 15 seconds of your set, which is not cool.
a perfect comeback for me would have been, okay, maybe love yourself a little less.
yeah, or
Yeah.
or quietly.
Yeah, quietly. Anyway, let's move on from me. My set was terrific. It was hard for Mike to follow. Okay, Mike, go ahead.
It was. And Julian had an interaction with a guy
Yeah.
beforehand, and I was like sitting. First of all, Julian did 15 minutes on a shirt.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which I
But
thought
I
was
mean,
great. It's like
the
it's
shirt-
a glitter, and then they were like rolling in the aisles, like, "Oh my God, it's a glitter shirt!"
It is. They could. I mean, but
yeah.
it's a.
We're all wearing
Julian was
merch.
killing with
the
off the
shirt
cuff
deserves
material.
30
We're all
minutes, and I
wearing
only did
merch.
15. All right, so I think I showed some restraint.
There's a lot of rhinestones on
It
there,
is.
too.
So I'm just. It's weird because it's a long walk to the stage. So I went to the stage early, and then I just was there. Like there's people just watching me.
the guy was like
stand by
yelled
the
out
stage.
and I had to. Yeah.
You yelled back. You went back and forth and scored off him.
Yeah.
And crushed.
Yeah.
And then
Joe, that means somebody heckled and I handled it well. Okay, go ahead.
Interesting.
Interesting.
so then I'm just pacing back and forth, and the people are looking at me like I'm a psycho. And then I squat down for some reason.
Mike, no one thought you were a psycho. You are the most sensitive dude
I am
in the world.
sensitive.
That place
That
is
just hurt-
enormous.
that just hurt my
You're
feelings.
5'9".
That just hurt my feelings.
Tops. 5'9" tops. No one was staring at you like, who is this psychopath? No one was
5'8".
looking at you. Look at this shirt. They were looking at the shirt, Mike. Look at this.
Well, then you called me up, and then I went, and I had to focus on staying in the certain part of. I'm not used to. This is my first leg of the tour in the round.
Yeah.
So I had to focus on staying inside the tape, and in the light and all that stuff. So and watching the clock. So but the set went very well. The crowd was very responsive, and the jokes. I think it helps to slow down a little bit because the jokes hit, and then there's a little bit of a delay, and then you feel it come back.
Yeah.
In the club, it's like just an immediate response, so the timing is a little bit different.
Yeah, if you wait, they'll give you an extra one. Almost every joke.
Yeah.
And if I had to do an hour, I would be going so slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But also, I feel like if you go really fast, too, it's like there's no time for them to feel what you're doing.
Right.
Right.
It's
Right.
beyond that.
Yeah.
You're just like, I feel like there are times when I have gone really fast, and you're just like, then you're like, oh, wait a minute. And then it's a weird rhythm for them.
It is funny to go fast and be like, I said everything I had to say. Good night.
No, but it definitely pays to slow down
Yeah,
and
it does.
and
It's so
be in
hard
it because
to remember.
and also it's like we all have to remember. Also, it's like we're trying to get the. It's like, especially for me, it's like sit and laugh a little bit.
I know.
Like
It's
just
so
sit in
hard.
it and relax a little bit, and
Yeah.
they're
Enjoy
going to
it.
be there for the next one.
It's so hard to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Nick, how did you opened with a
Yeah.
doozy? You brought it on yourself.
So I
man.
brought this on myself. First of all, I love that you have to set up like, we're in Sacramento, we're the Kings play. I'm wearing a purple Kings shirt. Everyone's wearing like insane
Kings
swag.
merch.
Yes.
Kings merch. So I was talking about. I had a joke that I was going to do about white chocolate, and I'm just talking to the lady with the swag stuff. But in reality, I am a Celtics fan.
Right.
So I opened up being like, it's crazy to be here. I'm a Celtic fan. Decided to like
The booing.
Everybody
I
booed.
decided to get booed. The Celtics beat them tonight too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah,
So I
that's
decided to
hilarious.
do it, and then I was like,
I thought that was a dumb thing to say when I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was a dumb thing to say, but also I I knew that I was gonna get the boot. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I was like, I know what I want to do next. Is I liked them at that time, and you know, in reality, I probably stepped on. If I had just gone something about Kings, the white chocolate thing would have hit harder.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of it was strategic because
I
I
mean-
wanted them to do that and then lead into the next.
I wish
thing.
you would have gone complete heel and be like, I'm a Celtics fan, and then just let them boo you, and
Yeah.
they go, "Shut up! You shut your mouths! You shut your mouths!"
Celtics are the best team in the country this year.
Yeah,
But-
when we were in Boston, I said I was from Philly
Yeah.
right away.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean the booing, that was nothing. The obviously the booing in Boston for Philly is insane. And then I said, I knew you guys were gonna do that, but can you chill out a little bit? My 10-year-old daughter is here, and
Yeah.
they booed louder.
I
They
remember.
booed Goldie, and I thought that was it made me respect the city a lot. It really did.
What was their reaction to the Boston racism joke?
I
Did you do that?
reworded it a little bit where I said, people say, I do the Philly thing being the rudest, and then I say, and I always defend you guys. I go, Boston's not the rudest city in the country. You're thinking of racism.
That's really
I do
that's
like a
great.
flip like that. They loved it. I mean, it was fine. And mostly I crap on Philly, so they love that.
But I
you know?
think even when you do that, always though, if you could do something that's like you can win them back in easy
Yeah.
by getting that reaction, like a boo.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
It's like a way to just, as long as
It's
you have
digging a hole.
something that
Yeah.
dig a hole and you have a way out already. Like
You know
just
who-
be like, but they were fun in the '90s.
You know who used to dig holes to see if he could get out of them that were so deep it was like as a comic you're like I don't know if he's gonna make it. Was Patrice?
Yeah.
Patrice used to dig a hole
Yeah, yeah.
that would take 7 minutes. He would dig a hole with no laughs for 7 full minutes.
Because he
And
would
you're
say
like,
a statement that everybody would disagree with,
Oh,
and then
that
he would like
he would
argue
go,
it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Now I'm really
I
going.
watched him the best. Like there was like a bringer show at Stand Up New York,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy went up and did 20 minutes, and he'd been doing comedy for 4 months or something. He's an author. He goes,
did
that
20
was,
minutes?
He did. Yeah, he's like an author. It wasn't comedy, and he
Oh,
gets
yeah.
up there. He goes, "That was the worst trash I've ever seen. This guy should like
Patrice
kill him."
said
Yeah,
that?
yeah. He just starts like, but everybody in the audience was like
there
his
for that guy.
family, friends, and he just trashes him. Like, and then everybody's like, and then he decides he just goes right into material, and
Yeah.
you just hate him.
Yeah, he's unreal. But when you're that good and you get bored, you're like, oh, let's see how much I can make these people hate me before I bring them back. And sometimes he never did. But that's
No, it's great. It's great if you would have, said the thing about I'm a Boston fan, and then let the boo die out, and then go, and that's why you guys can't satisfy your wives. What?
I
said it.
Chocolate.
You know what you could have said? Also,
my name.
Also, you could have said, I brought up the Sacramento Kings when we were in Boston, and they didn't know who I was talking about.
That's good.
But that is the funny
They'd
thing.
never
too, the
heard of
Kings,
you.
They don't really have a rival. Who is there a dynasty? Who the
Yeah,
Lakers?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, they like to. They're about an hour from Golden State, so they try to go hard against Golden State.
Yeah.
But Sacramento's only been good for a year and a half at basketball, so they don't
They
yet
were
have
fun, though,
they don't
the
yet have a
90s.
rivalry.
But I'll say that crowd had the energy of a blue collar, and I mean that as a compliment,
Yeah.
a blue collar second market town that's like. They are always the best crowds.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were awesome.
and they had that energy, and that was
And that was a
awesome.
great Bakersfield reference.
Oh yeah,
That was really a good one.
The whole time I'm up there, so it's so funny because when you're in a show that big, I wonder what people think is going through your head, because you'd think, oh, you're never more present than when you're like in a situation like that. And I swear to God, I brought up that Bakersfield thing, and for the next 4 minutes that I was up there, I was talking, I was riffing, and all I was doing was trying to remember my Bakersfield joke. I had a Bakersfield joke that used to kill. I still can't remember
Right.
it. And I was just like so mad up there. They think I'm having a great time. They think the show's going great.
Right.
And in my head, I'm just like furious that I
But
can't
no,
remember this
you
joke.
probably was your brain going crazy, like how can I work Bakersfield into this? And you did it off the Florida thing.
Yeah.
You said Florida.
No. I brought up Bakersfield because the idea was they booed Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not better.
Yeah.
You know, you have Bakersfield.
Yeah.
That's all.
Right.
That was all that was.
Right.
But I also have a bit about Bakersfield, and I just couldn't remember it. But that if I could have done it, then it would have been. They would have carried me out of there. You know what I mean?
The rival city.
Yeah.
Guys, can we switch gears and talk about the workout today?
Oh.
Thank you.
I didn't, but yeah, you guys can.
I
gave it.
I
gave it about a 12% today. So
I didn't work out at all. I signed a waiver and I went in the parking lot.
You spent the whole time looking for a bathroom.
I did. I went in looking for a bathroom. I was like, "Here's a shower. Here's another shower. I'm going to take a call outside."
I didn't see Nick for 20 minutes, and then he came in. Is there a bathroom?
Nick filled out his emergency contact information and like, what's this for? He's not doing anything strenuous at all.
When Mike works out, he looks like he's trying to work out so he doesn't kill somebody. That's what it looks like you're doing.
Dan Soder used to. I used to have a bag to go to the gym. He goes, "What's in the bag? A picture of your enemy." Dan Soder.
Yeah, you do.
Same joke.
He looks like he's. You do look like you're taking out getting out some anger.
Yeah. And Joe,
all the anger comes out too when you hit those little bars. You do that jump and you get it.
Yeah. How about how competitive Nate is?
Oh yeah.
Nate is like, first of all, on the phone, and then gets off the phone and starts working out, and then I'm going back and forth doing what Eric is telling me to do. Eric, the trainer / barber, and
you gotta let it know. You gotta let it know.
and Nate just I'm going between things, and he goes, "Can you jump and get those rings?" Because you can. You can. So you want to see if I can, and you're that he's that competitive.
I love it.
We got to play basketball today too in the Kings training facility.
That was
wild.
We did a
practice
two-a-day.
court. Nicest practice court I've ever seen, or like nicest basketball court I've ever been
well,
on.
there's 2 courts, so there could have been like a tournament. Like
Yeah.
I didn't get the rooftop. I didn't go out. You could get to the top of it. We walked up 2 flights, which I wasn't a fan of. Then I see this ladder, and I was like, okay, the chances of getting down for me are not the best. Like,
but what about the people who were there?
Yeah, what about it?
How
was it up there?
Should
was it?
Should we be allowed to hear about it though, Nick?
Let's hear about it. I'd like to hear about it.
No, I want to hear what it's like from the person that was down below the roof, wondering what was happening on the roof.
By the way,
I was pacing around like a cat on the bottom. Like, I want to get up there. Then Eric comes down and he goes, "Look, even if you do get up here, it's a 5-foot railing, so you're not going to be able to see." Showing me a photo of it. I was like, even if I hurt myself trying to get up there, I still can't see.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Joe, what?
It was beautiful.
Was it nice?
That was incredible.
I mean, I could barely see.
Joe, by the way, speaking of the workout, Joe is sneaky athletic. Like,
yes, he is.
Joe looks like
he is.
He can read really fast, but it turns out he's also a menace on an exercycle.
He is like sneaky in everything, not just sports.
Joe's a winner.
He's an unbelievable. He'll play cards.
Yeah.
He wins at poker. He's an unbelievable poker player.
Joe's a winner.
He knows how to shuffle. He knows how to
I will
do
say
everything.
this though, clumsy, bit clumsy. Yeah, sometimes.
He's a high IQ klutz.
A lot of people compare me to Luka Doncic.
Doncic?
Is that a Russian author? It's pronounced Dostoevsky.
He's related to somebody that played on the Kings in the 90s.
Yeah.
Joe is a low-key champion.
Thank you.
Keeps it low-key.
By the way, if you've been watching the podcast this whole time and you're waiting for Nate, he has 40 minutes left. So we're just stick around and he'll be here.
We got a lot of time to fill here.
He's going to come in and sanction it. He's just going to come in and go, I approve this. Yeah. And then he's going to walk away. So anyway.
That'd be great if he came in and said, "No, this is all wrong."
So where on your list?
Yeah, I was a Division I college athlete. That's probably why.
Yes.
Wow.
Probably why all the winning.
Oh, what sport was that, Joe?
It was It was a men's sport.
Okay.
Division I.
Ooh, men's.
Division I.
Which
he won.
He was a golfer.
It was the sport. It was the sport you would guess.
Yeah. A lot of walking. The one with the most walking.
It's dinner time.
All right.
It's time to eat. It's
well,
a
that's
tough
the dinner
life
bell.
we have.
no,
we have
but-
a catered dinner
no,
with
I
a
interrupted-
award-winning chef.
I interrupted
So we
Julian.
have to leave.
Continue,
for,
Julian.
So real quick, thank you for joining us on in the whatever locker room we are every time on this podcast. But I want to say, so on a scale of all the cities, say there's 50 cities, what's Sacramento rate for you, Joe, in terms of that crowd? From 1 to 50, 1 being the best city ever, 50 being wherever you're from.
Yeah. For me, solid 24. Solid 24
okay.
for me.
How do you like that, Sacramento? Nick?
I'm going to say it's a top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Recency bias. You would say that everywhere you were at. Everywhere he was at, he would say top 10.
He's trying to get booked at the Sacramento Punchline.
Recency bias.
Mike, how
Joe,
about
don't
you?
hate because Nick is pandering. That's his.
Hey, I'm not
That's
going
his-
to pander during the show. I'm a Celtic fan in real life. I want to let them know. I want to
Yeah, it's
pander
true.
here with the three of us.
The
number
people
one.
watching are around the country.
It's number 1 for me because this is my first weekend of the year in the round.
Yeah.
So it's
This is
number
the only
1.
one you know.
It's
He's
the only one I
talking
know.
from the heart,
I like
Julian.
it. It
Ni-
counts.
Nice
It
laugh
counts
for
number
that.
1. I like it. All right, let's go eat.
Wait, you didn't rank it, Julian.
Yeah, what is your?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Huh?
What is
76.
76? Philadelphia reference.
This is Rugged Coffee Bros.
Cool, man. We're just going to be looking for churro flavor in every city now. That'd be easy.
Is it? This is not churros. So
That's the one Chase
Even
had.
easier.
this guy makes his own Yeah. Yeah, pretty good.
It's not churro.
Yeah, Vecchione, you want to weigh in on if it was a good
Sorry,
idea?
am I interrupting content?
Yeah, we are.
Ooh, Mike Vecchione.
Mike.
Thanks for hanging out with the group.
I lost you guys on the scooters.
Yeah. It's
Mike doesn't ride scooters. He's a little past his age limit.
Oh, goodness.
your insurance policy has a clause, right? You're not
I have a
allowed-
scooter, but it's a different kind of scooter.
It's got a basket.
Yeah. There was a 1994 wrestling injury that we have.
Yeah.
You know I'm sensitive about that, Nick.
If you can call the chair that goes up the stairs a scooter, yeah, you got one.
I bowled with a little push cart last night, too.
Mike
so.
and Nick walk in every arena. They go, "What's your elevator situation like?"
I do. I know exactly where they are. I'll tell you. There's one over here.
And I'll tell you if it's a
We
violation.
know the whole perimeter. Of this.
I know the whole perimeter.
Yeah.
I also know there's no bike locks. So I was here 2 weeks ago. I was looking for a bike lock. They kept going, it's right on the other side. I went completely around. There is no bike lock here. She was like, she's in swim lessons. She's 2, so she's like scared by everything. And, I'm pacing around on the side like Mike in a wrestling tournament, making sure. You know what I mean? I'm trying to include you. You get quiet. And a lot of times,
It's not my story. I'm not shy. I know how to do this, but it's not my story. It's your story about how you almost wanted
who
to drown
invented wrestling?
You almost drowned your daughter. Go ahead.
My daughter's alive. Everything's good. Mike was a Division II wrestler, almost Division I. He didn't make it. If he was 4 inches
no,
taller.
you had it wrong. Typical news, Nic Novicki news spin. I was a Division I wrestler and didn't make it.
Ah,
Thank you.
all right. Will we just end on the sad moment? But he loves wrestling. Who's the number 1 wrestler in the world? All right. Anyways, we'll see.
Oh my God. You're a great.
Honda Center,
I
baby.
hope you fall off your scooter.
Oh man, I'm not riding a scooter for that reason. I'm a bike man.
You're a bike man now?
I'm a bike man.
I'm glad there's no locks and I'm in Anaheim.
There definitely isn't.
That was really.
There's definitely no
Do you guys
locks.
ever look at the empty seats and I don't know. It freaks me out that there's just gonna be that many people.
like that.
Well, I'm comfortable because this is how I draw.
Mike. We're doing the 3 p.m. show. I'm comfortable in the daytime show, actually. A lot of people don't like the daytimes. I like daytime shows.
Is it a 3 p.m. tonight?
No, but I'm saying in general, it's like
I hope not.
You scared me.
this is crazy though. When you sit with the lights on, it's a little bit more intimidating. Like my vision is so bad that usually I can't even tell the difference until you actually are there, and then you're just in the moment and on stage. Because when the lights are out, you can see the people, but mostly just here. But when you're with the lights on, it's insane looking around.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people will be here?
Do you like the lights off or on?
I like them off. Truth be told, you like them on?
Yeah.
You always have liked a
Because
room
I
really
like,
light. I like
because
a
I
dark
like to
room.
see.
You like to,
I'm just used to the club, so it's used to
I know.
connecting to people.
Yeah, I like
and then like you're not connecting to people in a dark room. You can't see them. You're just doing your jokes into the darkness, right?
Yeah, but I can't see more than a couple rows either way.
You're blind anyway.
In
So you're
a
always doing your
club
jokes
or
into the
this, I'm
darkness?
just basically like, it doesn't matter. The vision side doesn't change for me.
And now coming to the stage, a man who badly needs to see a doctor. I'll be surprised if he can make it up here. Give it up. Seeing eye dog included. It is not for his act, it's so he can make it to the stage. Give it up for the Polish rifle, Nic Novicki. Woo!
Kabasa.
Oh yeah, that was the only time, Paul.
Here we are. We're at the Honda Center.
Because of editing, this just never ends. It's like you're
Sit
still
down.
on.
Mike, what do you think about the seats?
Oh
Do you
my
like
God.
them with the light or the dark again?
No, I like them padded.
Now, can you do this again with a little bit more energy? A little bit of give it a little pepper and a little bit of Mike Vecchione in a varsity wrestling match. All right, go. On the count of 3. Mean mug 'em.
Took Evan a minute.
I have to pee every 30 seconds. Don't cut that. You cut that. Cut what I just said. You understand?
You ever hear-
I'll have you in court.
Martin Short goes, the only time I don't have to pee is while I'm peeing.
That's a great one.
But your 30 seconds, that was funny.
30 seconds to Mars.
What? You're just appealing to the young people that are
I'm doing
40.
a Robin Williams where I just say something and then riff on 30 seconds to Mars. 30 seconds to pee, 30 seconds to Mars. You know what I'm talking about. Wacky. Woo! All right.
It's the same.
Moving
it's
on.
the same words.
We're just moving on. Can I do a confessional?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cut Julian out of the shot.
Of course.
Julian, okay, we've been friends for a long time. Julian and I have been friends for a long time, and I love his style, his talent, his quick brain. He's unbelievably emotionally available. He's a fantastic person, okay? Known him for years. We lost him to LA for a while. I was afraid he was going to come back with an earring, maybe a nose ring, and try to explain it in some kind of neo-political way that they do, like in the trendy coffee shops. But he didn't do that, and I was like, our boy is back. He's home. Anyway, we're on the road, and are you shooting me still? Are you shooting? Are you shooting B-roll while I'm on?
Sorry, no.
I don't know what your technique is. I don't know what your process is, and I'm not trying to judge it. But if this doesn't come out perfect, I'm slapping you. I'm gonna open hand slap you. I hope that's okay. I bought you a coffee.
It was a great coffee, thank you.
Thank you. Now, Julian, I got a text. Like, we're on the road. We're flying back. Okay, great shows. Julian's an amazing talent. I always thought so. And I'm in the bed, scrolling, doing my boxing videos that I watch, and the guys are speaking in Russian. My phone starts going off. 4 a.m. 4 a.m. My phone starts going off. I look at it. It's a text from Julian, and not a group text where we all get to chime in. It's just one-on-one, Julian to me. And he's like, hey, Mike, will you wake me up in the morning? I forgot my charger. And I think to myself, at first I get pissed. I'm like, this guy, who does he think he's dealing with? Then I go, that is so Julian. That, I remember you know how sometimes you get in a whirlwind when somebody sends you a text, and then you go, oh wait, who am I dealing with? This is so Julian. This is so Julian right now. So I give him a little, I want him to sweat it out. So I wait about 7 to 10 minutes, and then I text back, because it needs to be on my terms. I go, look, I'll knock when I wake up. I'll knock on your door when I wake up. I forgot the body of the story. That happens sometimes, where I'm telling a story and I'll just forget the main idea of the story because I'm off on a detail so much. Julian, how's your battery? Is the battery okay?
11%.
11%. That's how much I give during my headlining shows.
Go on.
Okay, so he texts me, look, I forgot my charger. Classic Julian. And my phone is dead. I have no way to wake up in the morning. I might sleep. So can you wake me up at 10? Can you knock on my door at 10? And he gives me the room number, which I don't want to give out. So even though we're not at the hotel anymore, I don't want people going in and sniffing Julian's sheets. His fan base does that. They're sheet sniffers. Look at me, sheet sniffers. Anyway, he texts me, can you knock on my door to wake me up? I forgot my charger. And I text back, hey, buddy, because I'm a boundaries guy. When I wake up, then I'll knock on your door. So he doesn't reply, and I'm like, that's a bit odd. And so I wake up naturally at maybe 10:30, and I go to Julian's room. I almost locked myself out of my own room, and I go to this room and I knock a couple times, and he's yelling to me like, the rooms are not suites, they're small. He seems to be yelling at me from across the room, and I'm like, can we have an interface, like friendship? And he's like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm up, I got it. And I'm like, Julian, I don't think you understand how friendship works. It's like, open the door, eye contact, face-to-face conversation. You don't just yell at me through a door after you ask me a favor. I mean, maybe that's how they do it in LA. Maybe that's called networking in LA. But in New York, that's not how we do it. It's a face-to-face. So Julian just goes, I'll see you down there. I said, no, Julian, I have boundaries. I go, I'll see you down there. And I say it to him. And he goes, okay. He felt where I was going, first responder energy. I go back to my room, and then I do my aggressive breathing. It's 20 minutes. No one buys into it. I try to tell to everybody it's a form of meditation, but it combines breathing with meditation, and I swear by it. And I took a cold shower because I was heated from the interaction with Julian of being disrespected. But then I thought, this is classic Julian. It's not disrespect. It's just classic Julian. And then we met in the lobby, hugged, and I held the hug longer than it should have been held. And
it was a little tight.
We jumped into an Uber, a tight Uber, and I did that on purpose. I didn't want room. I didn't want space. I wanted to sit next to Julian. You have to repair the bond. Sometimes you have to repair the bond. And then we made it to the airport, and I even said to him to show there was no hard feelings, Julian, you want a coffee? And I think he was still hurt, so he's like, no, I don't need a coffee from you. And I was like, Julian, a coffee? And he was like, no. And here we are. So that's stories from the road. Everybody thinks we get along and we're great and we're friends, but there is conflict on the Nateland. If Nateland was a country, I would be New York, Julian would be LA.
Oh my God.
And we'd have to bridge the gap between lattes and networking and going out hanging out.
You live in LA for 10 years, all of a sudden you're LA. It's not fair. All right. I never felt like I belonged there. I prefer your face-to-face, awkward, intense closeness. I prefer that.
Answer the door? Just answer the door. You asked me to knock on the door, and then you didn't answer.
To be fair to myself, I forgot I asked you to do that, and I thought you were housekeeping. And I said, no, thank you. And then you got offended.
You forgot that you forgot that you texted. How many other guys? How many other men are you texting at 4 a.m.?
You knocked at 10:30. I'm not used to every morning knock I've ever gotten at a hotel is housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear the knock. My fight or flight goes, it's housekeeping. I yell, no, thank you. And then you're like, oh, you asked me to do this. I'm like, oh God, it's Mike. You know. But then
I'm a pizza guy now. Yeah. I'm a pizza delivery guy. Don't want none. Don't know. Extra pepperoni here.
I do think it's funny that I asked you to wake me up in the morning, and then you knocked, and I was like, no, thank you. But I did. I appreciate it, and I woke up. And when you woke me up, I immediately I rolled over and I turned on a movie and I fell back to sleep. So thank you.
You fell back to sleep after I woke you up.
A little bit I did.
I thought you were on the phone, or it felt like you were doing something.
It sounded like I was panicking. It's okay, thank you. It's all right, Mike. I'll see you downstairs.
I got other things going on in here. I thought you were on a Zoom with a network.
Yeah, I got a money counter going, and I
didn't know what you were doing in there.
No, I was. You woke me from a dead sleep, and I panicked, and I said, "Go away, please." After you were doing me a favor. But yeah, I recommend if you do have your friend wake you up, don't have someone as intense as this guy. You want to get your more like.
Look at this haircut. I do the job. I do the job.
It was funny. I was shocked. You were like, "You're not gonna let me in?" I'm like, "For what? I'm awake." But now I get it, because you got feelings. Yeah,
feelings.
And I forgot about that because it was early.
I thought you were already. You were like, "I'm up. I'm already up."
That's my trick.
Yeah.
From years of alcoholism, to go from a dead sleep to be like, I'm dead awake. I've already.
So things are not always peaceful. I want to just stress the narrative here.
Yeah.
Things are not always peaceful on the road with Nateland. Oh, you guys get along. You guys are good. Yes, we are friends, and there's a deeper bond, which is how we're able to weather these conflicts. This is a conflict.
I think
this
people
is a
need to
serious
understand
conflict.
something here,
When I
Mike.
saw Julian in the morning in the lobby, I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know how it was going to go. Is this going to be a problem? Are we squaring up? Julian's a natural athlete. Baseball player.
Yeah.
Could have went pro.
It's true.
I don't know what I'm dealing with here. I don't know if I'm getting my head taken off.
Yeah.
I gotta be in a defense. I had my hands up. I was like, "What's up, Julian? What's up? How you doing?" Just in case.
Yeah.
He decided to come over with a hook or something, and I wasn't expecting it. Then a man's down in the lobby, and we have to call Abigail or somebody, not Nate himself, but somebody from the Nateland team. Nate doesn't want to hear about this
Kind of stuff. Here's the thing. Mike says the Nateland tour is not peaceful. It's actually really peaceful. Mike is. It's a little tense.
I didn't say it wasn't peaceful. I said that there's conflict and there's undertones of conflict within the Nateland family.
But I'm saying it's within Mike.
No, it's not.
It's all within Mike.
What we're doing is, I understand the Nateland brand. Do you understand branding?
No. What is it?
Okay, branding is when you portray yourself. And the Nateland brand is peaceful. But the people who are watching this, they're like, we've had enough peace. What's the dirt? And I'm giving it to them.
Okay.
And I'm giving it to them right in the throat.
I got you, yeah. The Mike brand is someone's always coming, so get in a stance.
Yeah.
And get ready because the world wants to beat you to the ground, and it's up to you to have boundaries.
Right, boundaries.
And then make people feel bad about not being a better friend. And that's a good brand. I think it's very likable. People like being around it.
Yeah.
I
don't know if that's my brand. I think my brand is to. Can I
don't think I understand brand. I don't think I understand.
I don't
what
think you
brand
understand brand either. It's like.
Was I describing a vibe?
A vibe.
Is a vibe different than a brand?
Yeah, a brand.
Guys, my camera's on 2%, so.
Oh, his camera's gonna die. Can you wake him up later and let him know he's got a charge?
So if you guys want to wrap up the weekend here.
Okay.
That was a perfect wrap up. Your camera's gonna die. Julian's phone died. It's like, are you guys responsible
I think it was
at all for anything?
It was a great weekend because there's Nate books a nice balance of acts. The crowd had Nate's hour is amazing right now, so he's great. He's all set. The drama's with the openers.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I get up there. I'm the host. We are. But I get up there, I'm the host, I'm fun, I'm like, hey, we're having a good time. Then we bring Mike up to remind him that the world's not a safe place. You know what I mean? And you better laugh at it because people are out to get you. And then we have Nic Novicki come out, like, his happy horse shit.
Yeah.
And then we bring out Joe Zimmerman, who...
you have to tell him there's a stage. He'll wander past it. Is that a hawk?
He brings his own leather-bound chair to sit in, and then...
he smokes a pipe and does his act. No, it's a great, one of these before Nate gets up there. It goes like this with the openers. It was a great weekend. We did Sacramento, we did Anaheim, and we did Tahoe. And I'm telling you, the vibe on stage, it's very cool. It starts, it's like this, then it goes like this, then it goes like this, and then Nate gets on stage, and then it's good.
Yes. And in between that, we played pickleball, which is a sport for somebody over 70. No, I love it. I'm not complaining about it. Pickleball.
It makes you feel young.
Pickleball.
Yeah.
Pickleball.
I'm a Celtic fan. I'm a Celtic fan.